In this video, we'll talk about 6 Claude routines that will save you 10 hours a week and run while you're asleep. Claude Code can automate almost anything now, but as soon as you close your laptop, your automation is gone. And that's why OpenClaw has gone so popular, because the autonomous agent can run 24/7 is a dream. And routine is Anthropic's way of trying to get back on the game. And I went on vacation to Singapore last week. Claude routines still ran last week, even without me touching anything. I'll show you the 6 routines, how to set it up, and what they do. Let me show you the first one. So this one is the daily founder brief. And when you open it, you can see there are connectors. And this particular Claude routine is connected to my Gmail, my Google Calendar, my Notion, and my Slack. And you can also connect to a GitHub repository. You can pretty much use it as a database if you have a bunch of notes or things that you want to share to the AI agent while it's running. Right now it's only for demo, so I can click on start run as the demo, but you can schedule it to run in a schedule. For this, you can see that the next run is tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. And every day in my Slack, in my brief channel, I get a little summary like this, the top tasks that are needing my attention, and then the things that I could reply into my email. And all of this help me keep track of what to do today and keep me running without spinning out of control. So in the past, if I were to do the same thing, I would have to set up a end-to-end workflow that has a schedule trigger and an AI agent that's hooked up to an AI model, and also set up some kind of memory and hook up the tools that I just mentioned, which is the connectors for Claude routines. So the Gmail account, the Google Calendar account, etc. And do all this, and then I'll put it to my Slack channel. Doing Claude routine is also just a prompt, and then Claude Code build the Claude routine for me. Now I go over each of the Claude routine I built one by one, just to show you what they do. Next thing is the weekly self-interview prep. So every week I ask Claude Code to interview me in order to get some content ideas, because now it's all about personal brands. Like, you have to know what makes your story unique. I want to do that, but at the same time, I want to do it efficiently. And for AI to understand what you do and who you are, you have to give it the context that you need. And for me to do that, I need to let it interview me. This is hooked up to my Google Calendar, Fathom, which is the call transcript, and Gmail. So it knows my work context and what I've been through the week. So it can know exactly what to ask that is relevant to me. And this is synced to my GitHub repository. For this one, I'm calling the personal brand. And for me to access this personal brand, I can access it on my Claude Code as well on my computer. After the Claude routine has gathered all the information and save it into the repository, just go into the project where it has the content of the repository and ask Claude Code to interview me. And I just have to say interview. And you will go through the question one by one, and I will just answer them. And usually I will do it with some kind of voice dictation, whisper flow. And after doing that, a while, I will have a library of context for my content. Next up is the weekly meeting digest. And this is connected to Fathom and Notion. And it's really simple. Just gets all my call transcript and then save it into Notion and summarize it in a format that I can review once a week. Next is the weekly product brief. I run 3 different SaaS products. All of them are hooked into this analytics post hoc. So you can see that in the connectors, there are post hocs, Gmail, and Notion. With all those information, it's the analytics data, save it into Notion, sometimes sends me an email. I can take those action plans and then put it into Claude Code and have it update the website for me. So next is weekly content research. What this do is every week I will have a new list of content ideas from my Content HQ repository. So it records all of the previous ideas, and also it has access to the different notebook LM and also the Google spreadsheet where I record all of the YouTube video outliers. And lastly is the monthly revenue pulse. This one is connected to my Stripe and my Notion. And it only runs once a month. So it gives you a monthly report on how you're doing on revenue and help you figure out if you're trending in the right direction, and it records it in Notion, and you also try to analyze your revenue data and how your customer are churning or not churning. Before you get too excited and start moving everything into Claude Routine, you have to know some limitations about Claude Routines. The Claude Max plan, you can only get 15 slots for your Claude Routines. And you can see here, you only have 15 daily runs for the Claude Routine. So if you have more than 15 runs of daily task, then it's out of the questions. You cannot really fit all of them in the Claude Routine as of now. The Pro plan, then that's even lower. And you get 5 per daily runs. The second limitation is that you have to use their official connectors. If you use any third-party API tools or any MCP server that is not included in the Claude ecosystem, then you cannot really use them. I tried to do that and it didn't really work. Where you try to think about the use case that you want to run on Claude Routine, you can go into the settings page on the web cloud and go to connectors and then look at the different connectors that are available. It's kind of hard to find it, but you have to click on the browse connectors to see the full list of connectors that are available. And if you have some kind of tools in mind, you can just search for it. Give you a lot of time before even trying Claude Routine. If you're still not sure when you should use NAN or when you should use Claude Routine, I made this chart for you to understand when is the best time to use Claude Routine. In the x-axis, we have reasoning needed. So whenever it needs a lot of reasoning and it does not need to run very often. Because if you run very often, you quickly run out of the daily slots that we talked about. The opposite end, if it runs very frequently and then we don't need any reasoning, meaning that you don't need to have anything to be processed by AI. So anything that is deterministic and automation, and then would just do the job wonderfully. So there are 2 ways to create Claude Routine. So the normal human way is to go on the UI interface of the web version or the desktop version. You click on routine and you click on new routine and you kind of go through all of this and type it out. But we have AI. Why do we need to do that? So what I usually do, I just open up a terminal. You can do it in VS Code, or I'll tell it create a Claude Routine with the /schedule command to, then you want to do the task. So whether it is the personal founder brief or you want to do the weekly interview prep, that you just tell it exactly what you want to do when the schedule time arrives, and you just tell it when you want to schedule it and what do you want to do at the time. And important thing to know is that if you have any connector connected, let it know that use the connector, or else you will create a prompt not knowing the connector exists and try to use some kind of MCP server or other APIs, then you will fail in that way. If you want the prompt to create the 6th Claude Routine that I mentioned in this video, then I will include a link in the description. To recap, if you have something that doesn't run very often and needs a lot of reasoning or AI power, then you can try Claude Routine out. It's definitely not as robust and scalable as NAN. So you have to think about when to use NAN and when to use Claude Routine. Having Claude Routine already is wonderful just because that you can tell it in plain English what you want to do on a schedule and it just does it for you. And the only caveat is that you need to know what connectors to use and tell it to use that connectors. And hopefully that was helpful. If you find this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up.